Hey everyone! Back when I did my bullet journal planner thing, I had a few requests to do a traveler's notebook style planner kind of thing, and I liked that idea, but I still had that bullet journal that I made, so I was like, I don't need to make another bullet journal. Maybe I'll do that like once I fill this one up, because if I made one, I kind of wanted to make it smaller. Because technically, I still could have made a traveler's notebook and put my bullet journal in it. Actually, that sounds kind of appealing now. Maybe I might do that. I don't know. But I was sitting around one day and I was just like, why do I have to wait until I need a new planner? I could make one with sketchbook paper inside and have it be a sketchbook. I mean, that's the beauty of those traveler's notebook things. You can switch out the inserts to be whatever suits your needs, and whenever they're full you take them out and replace them. So I was like, I'll just do one with little sketchbooks. So I was trying to mentally figure out the list of the stuff that I would need to get in order to make this traveler's notebook, and I realized I think I have everything that I would need, including stuff to make the little sketchbook inserts that I wanted to make as well. So I figured I'd make another craft hoard tackling video. Originally, I planned to just do one a month, but after doing a few of them, I've kind of been inspired to dig into my hoard of crafts more and more. That's why you've been seeing so many of them. Hopefully you guys like that. If not, I can scale back. I can do them once a month like I had originally planned to. So let's go dig into my craft hoard and see if I can find what I need. Alright, I have this Tupperware of leather. So I have this kind of leather, but it's like really thin, so I don't think it could work. Maybe for some other applications, but I need something thick. I know I have some leather scraps somewhere. I might not have put them in here, actually. The search continues. Ah, see? There it is. So this is the one I was thinking of. It's a little bit thicker. And as usual, gotta go through my sewing supplies. I really need to organize this. So I need elastic that's like this, but this is leather cording, so it's not gonna work. So I have this. It's like a really thin ribbon type of elastic that could work. I'm just gonna use this thread to sew the books together because it's a little bit thicker than sewing thread. That means I'll also need sewing needles, which, oh, there they are. Ta-da! To make a traveler's journal, which is basically just a cover, really, I gathered some leather, elastic, a heavy-duty fabric hole punch, a decorative bead, scissors, and contact cement. I also wanted to make a few little sketchbook inserts, and to make those I gathered paper. I just ripped some out of one of my old sketchbooks, cover paper, a paper cutter, embroidery thread, binder clips, a nail, a hammer, X-Acto knife, and a metal ruler. As you can see, the paper I'm cutting down here already has stuff on it. These are old pages from my sketchbook that I used for some art snacks videos that I made within the last few months. I thought it could be fun to recycle some of these pages and make them into small sketchbooks. To make a field notes sized sketchbook, cut down the paper to 5.5 by 7 inch pieces. You'll need 8 pieces of paper per book, plus a sheet of paper in a different color for the cover. Fold the pages in half like so and stack them together. Unfold the stack and use binder clips to hold the sheets in place. Along the fold, mark 1/4 of an inch in on each side and then 1 inch apart all the way down the middle. You should have 6 marks. Since I was going to be doing multiple books, I did this on a scrap piece of paper so I can make the holes and then use the same template for the next books. If you do this, I suggest using a scrap paper that's big enough for a binder clip to hold it in place, to prevent it from sliding around as you use it. Anyway, use the nail and hammer to punch holes at each mark along the spine. Alternatively, you could use an awl instead of a nail. Cut a piece of thread about 2.5 lengths longer than the book. Starting from the 3rd hole down, thread the needle through from the outside, and then thread in and out to the edge. Then start your way back down to the spine, in and out like before. For these first few, you'll be going back through the holes you already went through. When you make it all the way down to the other side of the spine, start working your way back to the middle. And then tie a knot to finish it off. Snip off the extra thread. For those of you who are curious, this type of binding is called a saddle stitch. Use your binder clips to hold the book closed, line up your ruler to the edge of the cover sheet, and cut off the extra bits of paper that are poking out. The trick to do this is to not press down too hard with the X-Acto knife and to do multiple passes until you cut through all of the sheets. That'll make this edge nice and even. And then the book is done. If the book you made won't stay closed, you can weigh it down with some heavy books overnight, or sandwich it between 2 pieces of wood and clamp it together. I did this for all of mine. And now to make the cover. Cut a piece of leather 5 3/4 inch by 8 1/4 inch. I decided to add pockets on the side. I cut a piece 2 inches by 5 3/4 inches, and another to 2 by 4 inches. On the shorter one, I cut one of the corners at a diagonal like so. Mark where the pockets end at each of the edges, and then apply contact cement along the edge about 1/4 of an inch in on the cover piece and the pocket pieces. Wait about 15 minutes or so, or whatever the directions say, and then stick the pockets in place. Round the corners. Find the middle of the leather, mark about 1/4 of an inch in, and then 1/2 an inch from that on both sides, and then mark the midpoint. Use the fabric punch to punch holes at each mark. Cut a piece of elastic that's at least as long as the width of this piece of leather, plus 2 times the length of the spine, plus a few inches, just to make sure you can tie it off. Fold it in half, and from the inside, push the folded end through the middle hole. Adjust this outside loop so it's just long enough to pull around like so. Then thread the ends of the elastic through the edge holes like this. For the top one, I wanted to mimic the look of the original Midori Traveler's Notebook, so I threaded a bead on the outside before sticking the elastic back through. Then on the inside, tie the elastic together, making it a bit tighter so when you put the inserts in, they'll be held in place. To make sure the elastic is tied tight enough, you can stick one of the inserts in while you're tying it to see how tight to go. Then you would just slip in the insert like this. If you want to be able to add more inserts, you can tie another piece of elastic around the inserts like this, close the books, and then slide one of the books under the one that's already in the cover. An alternative way to do this would be to slip just the elastic over the book that's already in place, and then you can slide the other inserts on either side, but I don't feel like they're really held in that well this way. And there you go, a traveler's notebook. Here's how I have mine set up now. I have some stickers and loose paper in this front pocket. I have this little notebook here at the front, followed by 2 of the sketchbooks that I made. Then, in the back, I have these little post-it notes ready to go when I need them. I feel like this turned out alright, but I would definitely suggest at least using thinner elastic. I used the smallest kind that I had in my craft hoard, but I think the thickness of it makes the books a little bulky at the spine, and I don't really like how that looks. I would also suggest to use thicker leather so it's not so floppy. Or maybe make pockets on both sides that are the whole length, like this back one, because it feels better where it's thicker. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. If you did, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe. I post art videos every Tuesday and DIY videos every Thursday. Thank you to my patrons for helping me produce this video. Your patronage really helps me continue to produce these videos for everybody to enjoy. If you are interested in becoming a patron or just learning about what Patreon is, I'll leave a link to mine right up here and you can go check it out. You can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitch, and I'll leave the information for those down below. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next week.